I'm Jacob, and I'm here to teach you how to cliff dive, or cliff jump, not diving. Diving's scary. Cliff jumping. So early in the year, I went cliff jumping for my first time. The cliff was about 40 feet tall, and I was very nervous about hurting myself. I was a runner, so I care about my legs and being not injured, so I was very worried about hurting myself. I jumped off this cliff 2 times, and both times, surprisingly enough, I hurt myself in some way. The first time was my first time jumping, and I smacked my face on the water, and I cut the inside of my lip. The second time, I smacked my heel on the bottom. So I want to teach you guys how to keep yourself safe. This includes knowing the depth of the water, knowing how to land in the water, and understanding the jump that you're making. So the first and most important part of the jump is knowing the depth of the water. This can either make it a fun time or you can seriously injure yourself. Experts say that the depth of the water should always be about 4 meters, which is about 13 feet. So any normal standard diving pool will be about this deep, just in case you know for that. They also say to never jump over 65 feet unless you're an expert. This is a really good rule. 40 feet is also really scary, so I'd say try and keep it around there. A good way to check, the way that I found to check on how deep the water is you can do research on the spot. A lot of well-known cliff jumping spots will have information about like where to jump, how to jump, and how deep it is. You can also swim out there. If it's nice water, you can just swim out there, go down, see how deep it is. Or if you somehow have 4 meters of something, you can just stick it down into the water and see how deep it is. It's very important to do this because otherwise you can hit the bottom and break your legs, or other things that could happen, not just breaking your legs. The next part is knowing how to land. Ian here will be my visual aid on how to land in the water. It is very important to land straight up and down. So, looking forward. So, when you land, you want to be straight up and down. You want your feet together, your arms by your side, and your head looking forward.
Like the camera angle.
Get over here, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Doing it like this will help you by reducing the surface area that hits the water. Because when you're like this, the water just goes up and around you and it doesn't hit you as much. You just go into it. And it can slow you down when you're going. If you're flailing, make a very weird pose. If you're flailing like this, there's a lot of surface area which will slow you down a lot as soon as you hit the water and it will hurt. You can jump if you want. When I jumped the first time, I did not know what I was doing very much, and so I was swinging my arms around, looking down, and my face hit the water going kind of fast. You're going about 30 miles an hour when you jump from 40 feet. So it is very bad to jump like that. And also, if you have to jump near the cliff face, if you're flailing, you can hit the wall, which would also be very bad. If you catch something, you can do some nasty stuff. The next important part on cliff jumping is to understand the jump that you're making. You need to know where to jump and how far to jump. This is important because there could be dangerous water at certain parts of the lake, and jumping into the right spot can make the jump a lot more enjoyable. There's also a good idea to know how far you're jumping, like the height of the jump, because then you can know how long you're going to be in the air for. Very strange fact is when you jump off of something very high, time seems to slow down. So the jump that we made is only about a second fall, but when you jump, you feel like you're in the air for about 3 seconds. So it's important to know this stuff so you can be safe while you're falling and where you're jumping when you land in the water. These safety tips are very important so that way you don't get hurt while you're doing this kind of sketchy activity. But after you do all these things, it's very important to remember that you're there to have fun. You went out to this place to jump off a cliff. You're there to have fun and get adrenaline going through your body. So enjoy the fall. Enjoy jumping off this 40-foot cliff and enjoy splashing in the water and coming out and seeing all your friends cheering you on because you just fell 40 feet going 30 miles an hour. I wish I had known this stuff when I went because I could have saved myself from a little bit of pain. Nothing bad happened, but it hurt to hit the water. So remember, next time you go cliff jumping, maybe it's your first time, remember to know the depth of the water, make sure it's deep enough to land straight up and down so you don't hurt yourself, to know the jump that you're making, and at the very end of the day, enjoy the entire time. Thank you guys.